Today, our reading is going to be taken from the fairy legends of T. Croft and Croker. The reading is going to be The Lord of Dunkerron. The Lord of Dunkerron, O Sullivan Moor, why seeks he at midnight the sea-beaten shore? His bark lies in haven, his hounds are asleep. No foes are abroad on the land or in the deep. Yet nightly the Lord of Dunkerron is known, on the wild shore to watch and to wander alone. For a beautiful spirit of ocean, 'tis said, the Lord Dunkerron would win to his bed. When by moonlight the waters were hushed to repose, that beautiful spirit of ocean arose. Her hair full of luster just floated and fell o'er her bosom that heaved with a billowy swell. Long, long had he loved her, long vainly essayed to lure from her dwelling the coy ocean maid. And long had he wondered and watched by the tide to claim the fair spirit, O'Sullivan's bride. The maiden she gazed on the creature of earth, whose voice in her breast to a feeling gave birth, then smiled and abashed as a maiden might be, looking down, gently sank to her home in the sea. Though gentle that smile as the moonlight above, O'Sullivan felt 'twas the dawning of love. And hope came on hope, spreading over his mind, as the eddy of circles her wake left behind. The Lord of Dunkerron, he plunged in the waves, and sought through the fierce rush of waters their caves. The gloom of whose depth, studded over with spars, had the glitter of midnight when lit up by the stars. Who can tell or can fancy the treasures that sleep, entombed in the wonderful womb of the deep? The pearls and the gems, as if valueless thrown, to lie mid the sea-wrack, concealed and unknown. Down, down went the maid, still the chieftain pursued, who flies must be followed ere she can be wooed. Untempted by treasures, unawed by alarms, the maiden at length he had clasped in his arms. They rose from the deep by a smooth spreading strand, whence beauty and verdure stretched over the land. 'Twas an isle of enchantment, and lightly the breeze, with a musical murmur, just crept through the trees. The haze-woven shroud of that newly born isle softly faded away from a magical pile. A palace of crystal, whose bright beaming sheen had the tints of the rainbow, red, yellow, and green. And grottos, fantastic in hue and in form, were there as flung up the wild sport of the storm. Yet all was so cloudless, so lovely and calm, it seemed but a region of sunshine and balm. Here, here shall we dwell in a dream of delight, where the glories of earth and of ocean unite. Yet, loved son of earth, I must from thee away. There are laws which in spirits are bound to obey. Once more must I visit the chief of my race, his sanction to gain ere I meet thy embrace. In a moment I dive to the chambers beneath. One cause can detain me, only one, 'tis death. They parted in sorrow with vows true and fond. The language of promise had nothing beyond. His soul all on fire with anxiety burns. The moment is gone, but no maiden returns. With sounds from the deep met his terrified ear. What accounts of rage and of grief does he hear? What sees he? What changes come over the flood? What tinges its green with the jetty of blood? Can he doubt what the gush of warm blood would explain? That she sought the consent of her monarch in vain. For see all around him in white foam and froth, The waves of the ocean boil up in their wrath. The palace of crystal has melted in air, and the dyes of the rainbow no longer are there. The grottos with vapor and clouds are overcast. The sun is darkness, the vision has passed. Lord, Lord was the call of his serfs for their chief. They sought him with accents of wailing and grief. He heard and he struggled, a wave to the shore. Exhausted and faint, bears O'Sullivan more.